People of Reddit who have encountered ghosts or other supernatural beings. What was your experience like? What happened?
I had always been fascinated by the inner workings of our hospital's massive generator, an essential lifeline during the fierce winters that blanketed our town in snow. Yet, nothing could have prepared me for that frigid night when I descended into the depths of the hospital to fulfill a seemingly mundane task: photographing error lights on the generator. As I made my way down the narrow, creaking steps leading to the sub-basement, the air grew colder, a chilling draft that seemed unnatural even for that winter night. The dim light from my flashlight barely pierced the oppressive darkness, casting long shadows that danced along the damp walls. Reaching the bottom, I navigated through a labyrinth of corridors, the only sound my footsteps echoing off the cold concrete. The generator room was at the far end of the basement, a place seldom visited, often forgotten. I entered the room, the hum of the dormant machine resonating in the air. As I approached, the flashlight beam landed on the generator's control panel, illuminating the series of red error lights blinking intermittently. Raising my camera, I began to photograph the panel when a sudden, sharp static noise erupted from my walkie-talkie, startling me. A voice, garbled and distant, called out, "Do not proceed. Leave now." The message was unclear, but the urgency in the tone was unmistakable. I shook off the creeping dread, attributing the warning to interference or a prank by the overnight staff. Focusing back on the task, I snapped a few more pictures. That's when I noticed it, an odd reflection in the glass panel of the control box. It wasn't my own. Pausing, I angled the flashlight towards the reflection and gasped. Behind me, in the shadow, stood a figure grotesquely tall and thin, its form barely human. Its skin appeared translucent, veins dark and visible beneath its surface, eyes sunken deep into its skull, glowing with a faint, malevolent light. Heart pounding, I turned slowly. The entity stood motionless, its twisted lips curled into a semblance of a smile, its long, bony fingers reaching out towards me. The air around it was markedly colder, and a foul stench of decay filled the room. I wanted to scream, to run, but fear rooted me to the spot. The creature advanced, its movements jerky and unnatural, as if it were not accustomed to its elongated limbs. It whispered in a voice that was both a hiss and a moan, "Why have you come here?" Its voice echoed in my mind, not through my ears, a chilling, direct communication. Gathering every ounce of courage, I spoke. I needed to check the generator. Please, I mean no harm." The entity cocked its head, considering my words, then with horrifying clarity, it spoke again. "You belong here with us now. You've seen the lights. The error is not just in the machine, but in believing you are safe." Panicking, I snapped more photos, hoping the flash would startle it. It recoiled momentarily, then surged forward, enraged. I turned and ran, my breaths ragged, the sound of my own heartbeat thundering in my ears along with its screeching cries that seemed to come from the very walls. I didn't stop until I burst through the basement door, into the relative safety of the hospital corridors, the sounds of the entity's shrieks still echoing behind me. Back in the light, among my colleagues, the terror began to fade, rational thought returning. Yet, when I looked at the photos, ready to convince myself it was a trick of the light or my imagination, there it was. Captured in the harsh light of the flash, the entity's horrifying visage was unmistakably real. Even now, I avoid the basement, haunted by the memory and the creature's final words. The encounter remains a chilling reminder of the unseen horrors that lurk in the shadows of our daily lives. Unseen, but ever present, waiting for the curious or the unfortunate to stray into their grasp. If this chilling tale gave you goosebumps, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories like this. Thank you for tuning in to Ghostly Echoes. Until next time,